bounce to the jingle, bounce to the jingle, pounce like a bango, pounce like a bango, tiger inspired, twisted like tango wire, stuff fires on these rhymers.
Let's just not even bring it up.
I mean, we could bring it up. We're recording now. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us on episode 1 of Whatcha Watchin with the Bash Bros. I'm your co-host, the sexy sheep, Dave Turner, sitting next to...
Big facts, Chris Ross.
Oh, God. There's so much life in that. Do it again.
Big facts, Chris Ross.
Love it. Way better than the second time you did that. And, well, I guess it would have been, it would have been the second time. This is now.
Really?
Well, yeah. I mean,
we had 2 misfires. I mean, this is episode 1, episode 3.
Yeah, it is. For those that are listening, this is now our 3rd attempt because the first one we tried yesterday, and it was awful. The quality was awful. The content was great. But we used Skype, and it was just really not good.
Yeah, it kicked us right in the knackers there, bud.
It really did kick us in the knackers, eh? And then, we sat down, and we've been talking for like the last 20 minutes, and I realized I never hit record.
Never hit record. You know what that feels like?
A kick in the knackers, eh?
Getting hoofed right in the knackers, bud.
Oh, you're on this Letterkenny kick right now.
Wait, hold on. Let's not jump ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Dave?
Chris?
What you watching?
Well, for the 3rd and hopefully final time, I have been watching some stuff from WWF 1985. Started in January. I'm at the end of February now. I don't even feel like I want to talk about this anymore.
Listen, it's okay. We don't even have to redo it all. We did. I would like to re-up on the Super Fan Vladimir segment. When you get there, let me know. In fact, the fact that you haven't got there makes me a little concerned that it's either in the year prior or it's coming up, man.
It's got to be coming up because they really start pushing WrestleMania like around March because they've still got it. Because there was the event before WrestleMania that happened at Madison Square Garden, and that like kicked off the Rock and Wrestling Connection.
Was that the war to settle the score?
Yes.
No, was it?
Yes, because Roddy Piper came out and put the boots to Captain Lou, and then he like threw a kick at Cyndi Lauper, and then body slammed her boyfriend / manager Dave Wolf. Yeah, it was wild. I mean,
are you allowed to date your manager? That seems like
well, it was 1985. I think back then you could do whatever you wanted.
Ugh, that's unsettling.
Party scene was flowing free with coke and booze and marijuana. I mean, I watched the movie about Queen, so I know what partying in the 80s was like. Bohemian Rhapsody, that's the movie.
You watched Bohemian Rhapsody?
Yeah, on an airplane. It was a really good movie.
But you watched it on the airplane?
Yeah.
What were you doing?
Flying, probably to Chicago or Indiana or something. I don't know, maybe Florida. It was a long enough flight to where I could watch all of Bohemian Rhapsody and cry like a fucking bitch.
You cried?
Oh yeah.
Why'd you cry? What was about it that made you so sad?
Well, because it was a sad movie. Like, I'm drawing a blank on his fucking name now. What was the lead singer of Queen?
Freddie Mercury?
Freddie Mercury, yeah. He was an asshole to everybody else in Queen. Wanted to have his solo careers and went out and did that and kind of fell from grace. And then he got the diagnosis of HIV, which turned into AIDS, and ended up passing away after settling old feuds with the members of Queen and joining back up and doing that big benefit for, I think it was AIDS.
Live Aid, yeah.
Live Aid, yeah.
Mm-hmm. What? Yeah, that Live Aid thing was pretty. It was like a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was huge. Like they did it over several countries.
Yeah. And like people would just stand in front of their movie theater screens and watch this or something, I guess.
You're probably right. I don't really know much about Live Aid. I do know that some bands performed twice, once in the UK and once in America.
Really?
Yeah. So I guess they were on like the earliest UK or early on in the UK performances, and then they flew over to Philadelphia, I believe. They ran it back. Yeah, I think Queen might have actually done that.
How many days did Live Aid go for?
I believe one.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah, it is wild, honestly.
Yeah, but that was a good movie. I can't remember where I was going with. Oh, Partying in the 80s. So yeah, I think, if you're Cyndi Lauper and you are one of the biggest pop stars at that time, I mean, it was 85, so she had to have already recorded Good Enough. She did, because Captain Lou was in the video for Good Enough with the Goonies.
Yep, that's true. That's true. Goonies. Speaking of Goonies, buddy, what are your thoughts on the Goonies?
It's one of my favorite movies of all time. Goonies, Monster Squad, Back to the Future. I could watch those all the time.
Back to the Future is, of course, it's just legendary. Oh, of course. Yeah, I mean, Back to the Future is, boy, I mean, I've seen that movie so many times.
Yeah, and it's perfect. It handles time travel perfectly. Like, it's seamless.
I don't know if it's like, I wouldn't. Time travel is such a unique concept.
It is. It's hard to do. I mean, well, like physically it's impossible to do, but it'd be fucking badass if it wasn't. But cinema.
Well, I'd like to say, the U.S. government once attempted it.
Bullshit.
Mm-hmm. The Philadelphia Project.
That was an attempt at time travel?
Yep. Apparently the large shit. Listen, I don't know much about this. I've researched a little bit because I was very curious. This is like an Eli Surge thing. So maybe sometime soon we can get Eli on and he can tell us about it more. But from what I understood, a giant warship disappeared for 14 seconds.
I gonna have to read more about this because if that's legit, that's fucking fascinating.
Oh yeah, it's super interesting. I had like a thing where like I kind of just went down the rabbit hole on that guy.
You could really fuck up your existence though with time travel. Like you got to be very careful.
Yeah, I mean you don't want to see yourself as a twinkle in your father's eye.
Right. You also don't want your mother to be attracted to you and see you in your purple underwear.
What if your dad saw you and lost his smile and then his twinkle's gone and
Is
you
my
just
dad
disappeared?
Shawn Michaels?
You'd like that, wouldn't you?
I would love that. Shawn Michaels is the greatest in-ring. Oh my fucking God. Can I talk words? Greatest in-ring performer of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I if you were going to argue with that, I was going to punch you right in the face.
I don't really think there's much to argue about.
There isn't. I mean, look at him.
Although, was he ever on a Piper's Pit?
No.
Vladimir definitely was. I just looked it up.
Okay. I vaguely remember this. So this is, to be fair, this is my second time watching everything back from starting with 1985. I vaguely remember Vladimir being on a Piper's Pit.
Yeah, I think that's when that was his moment when he became Super Fan Vladimir.
I would absolutely love to have Vladimir as a guest on this show? Because I have a lot of questions. I need to know how he
I have
got.
more questions than you. I think I have more questions than you. First of all, what was your workout routine? You were jacked as fuck.
Yeah, you were.
You know, you always wore tank tops that made you look great.
Yeah. Was that a perm?
Ooh, was that a perm? Also, did you oil up before coming to these events?
Genius if
Brother,
he did.
you were wet. You looked wet.
I mean, he was very excitable, though. So it's very possible that that was all just sweat.
You think?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Why go to all the shows too? I mean, I saw him at WCW, WWF, ECW. Like what? How? What was your shoot job, bud?
Well, yeah, that's my question. Like, how did you get all these tickets? And fuck, how did you get all these tickets? Like, okay, fine. Maybe you're just getting comped in because you're the guy who smiles and has a good time in the front row. How did you get all over the country?
That's a good question because he was at WrestleMania 6, which is in the Sky Dome in Toronto, and then he was also at WrestleMania 7 in LA, and I'm sure he was in a lot more shows that, I mean, literally, in fact, actually, I'm curious, Dave, as you watch along, if you could do one thing for me and keep a tally of the times you see Vladimir.
Done. I'll do it.
Because I would bet you he was at every pay-per-view in the first 4 or 5 rows. I feel like, man, there's got to be a story there.
There has to be.
Like, I mean, I'm not trying to be negative here or bring up any weird stuff, but like maybe Pat Patterson was sweet on him.
I think Pat had other guys he was sweet on. I mean, I suppose it's possible. Allegedly, let's just say that he was allegedly sweet on this man, Vladimir.
I'm just saying it's possible. I don't know. I just feel like with the amount of front row tickets, I'm literally reading this like blog about him right now. He was a permanent fixture in the front row of major events from WrestleMania to SummerSlam. Like those tickets back in the day could not have been cheap.
Well, I'm sure they weren't. Yeah, I mean, inflation, whatever, they probably weren't that cheap. But here's my thing with Vladimir. The man's just dropped off the face of the earth. The last time we saw him was One Night Stand. You know what I wonder? I wonder if some of our buddies over in like the Midwest, East Coast, like have met him personally.
It's possible. Honestly, if anybody knows, I don't know. Maybe he just like a lot of fans during the time, once it kind of got past the invasion angle and the ruthless aggression era kind of died off and it just kind of became what it is today. A lot of fans are just kind of bitter about it. Maybe he just was one of those guys.
Maybe. If anyone out there knows Vladimir and is listening to this, or if even by fucking fingers crossed, the grace of God, Vladimir ends up listening to this, tweet us at Bash Bros Tag Team because we will put you on this fucking show.
I just have a lot of questions that need to be answered. Need like a drug.
No, I know. I get it. I'm with you. We're also going to have Eli Search on here now to talk about this whole
the time travel thing. Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah. It's incredible stories. Like conspiracy theories, man. They sometimes you think, this is too big to be fake? And then fuck if I know.
Okay, so too big to be fake would also lead into too big to be ridiculous, which would bring me to what you've been watching.
I've been watching the Fast and the Furious franchise. And I love it.
Naturally.
I just finished 8 the other day. And, oh, man. Talk about going from 0 to 100 over 8 films. I mean, going from the street drama of the Triad and knocking over semi trucks for, I assume, electronics to pawn off to keep their street racing go. If you're so good at street racing, Vin Diesel, Dominic Toretto, and you're winning so many goddamn pink slips, which I'm sure legally there's got to be more to that. There's got to be a bill of sale written up. There's just a lot of stuff that they cut out.
That's a good. That's a good point. Yeah.
But like, why do you need to steal? Like, I've seen your house, bro. It's not great. Where's all this money going? You're literally how many cars do you have in your fucking driveway? 7, 8, 10, 15? Like, how many cars do you win a week?
But that's not fair about his house, because his house is an emotional connection to his dad that he lost.
I know, but what I'm saying is you only race for pink slips by your own volition.
Yeah.
So where do all the cars go that you win?
Maybe he parts them out.
Okay, then why does he need to steal from giant semi-trucks filled with electronics? You're telling me a street racing vehicle isn't worth $60,000?
I cannot intelligently speak on the value of a street racing vehicle.
This is a Chase James question.
That's actually a good point. Why have we actually never considered talking to Chase about this?
I don't know, because it just kind of came to me when we're talking about it right now, live, pal, on this podcast. Because even if it wasn't, even if it was, it still costs money to put all stuff together. Even $25,000. If you only race for pink slips and you're the best racer in town, and people always want to challenge you.
Well, yeah, Dom
how many
sells
pink slips
parts.
Yeah, and then plus you're racing for cash.
Yeah.
So like, why even bother stealing semi trucks?
See, that's what I liked about too. Speaking of racing for cash, is that it wasn't racing for pink slips, except for that one scene where they
did the relay.
Yeah,
that was dope. Honestly,
it was dope.
God, Fast and Furious is so good.
Like, Brian's just intense ass game of chicken with that dude was insane. But I liked that Ludacris was just in it to make money. Like, let's try to make as much cash as we can. And he was like super personal about it too. Like, you would lose your money and he'd go and collect it, and he'd have his little bullhorn and he'd say, in your face, "Hey, are you feeling okay? It's all right. Do you want a chance to win your money back?" Like, if I'm there with Ludacris, I'm going to look at him and go, "God, you're a really nice guy. Yeah, you know what? Let's double or nothing here, okay?"
Double or nothing's a while. I don't know if I...
And he raced everything. Boats.
Oh, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, he did, didn't he?
Yeah.
He was just like a man of many talents.
He
also,
really
it's
was.
weird, though, for him going, this is going to play into the future, right? So it's like he's just like street smart, business savvy man who I think he runs an auto shop, I believe, was part of his deal. And then he had his boats and all his car street racing and stuff. And like, as time went on, he became a hacker.
Well,
because that makes sense.
Yeah, that doesn't make much sense at all.
Not a lick of sense. That's what I'm saying. This is where like Fast and Furious is like a really fun franchise, but motherfuck, they're like, hey guys, we're gonna do this, and you're gonna just suck it up because it doesn't make any fucking sense. So you're gonna have to deal with it. And you know what? I'll eat that shit. Nom nom nom. It doesn't affect me. It's perfectly fine.
Oh yeah, I'm happy with it.
I don't try to overthink it. But there's sometimes in these movies, like for example, we'll go to Tokyo Drift. Everybody's favorite Fast and Furious movie, Tokyo Drift.
Yes, it's my favorite.
It should be everybody's favorite because it's the goddamn best. They have the scene where Han gets in that bad car accident. The car blows up. He's dead, or so we think.
Right.
Okay. No biggie. And then it goes on to this. I don't know. I guess to be fair, it didn't do so well. Tokyo Drift didn't do so hot, so they had to. I don't know. They take a break from the franchise, I guess. I don't know what else to say about it. Would you say they took a break from the franchise?
I don't know that they necessarily took a break.
I felt like it was a long time in between Tokyo Drift and then Fast and Furious, which was a prequel to Tokyo Drift.
How many years was it?
You know what? I'm going to Google. So
Well-
while I'm doing this, we have to keep talking. The fact of the matter is, Han apparently died. And 37% on Rotten Tomatoes, my ball sack, you liars. Jesus.
Rotten Tomato, I don't feel like is very
They're not Fast and Furious friendly.
well, I don't think they're friendly to a lot of movies.
That's fair. 4.
I feel like with Fast and the Furious, they just kind of I feel like with 3 they realized they needed to just reset the whole thing back to what it originally was.
Actually, the more I think about it, this Fast and Furious, which was Fast and Furious 4, came out in 2009. Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift came out in 2006. So there's a 3-year gap, but I think Vin Diesel filmed Chronicles of Riddick in that time, perhaps.
Okay.
Maybe he was diversifying his bonds. Maybe it's less of they didn't know what to do with the franchise. No, Chronicles of Riddick was before it. Fuck if I know what happened. Maybe this needed a break, reboot the series like you said.
Here's my question. And I guess like knowing what we know now about movies, you could really cut these fucking final scenes whenever you want, right? But like they had that Easter egg at the end where Dom came and raced him in Japan.
Yes.
So like at what point in this filming process of this movie did they think we've got to tie this back around?
That's kind of my question, right? Because either the director is an evil genius, because again, if we start it, rewind a little bit, if we look at it, at the end of 3 had nothing to do with the series at all, other than the very last scene where, Dominic says, "Oh, you're, my friend Han," and they theoretically have a race. That's all we know.
Right.
So at that point, did the director go, okay, we need to take a break, and I'm going to write 3 more movies in which I will introduce Han and Vin Diesel, so there's a payoff to this? Was that the thought? Like, is he an evil genius in such a way that he thought, after this is done, I'm going to write 3 more movies that are all prequels?
So they are all prequels. Fuck, that's mind-blowing.
Yeah, so if you think about it, he did 1, 2, 3. 3 ended up being 6.
Yeah.
So it went 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 3, 7, 8.
Yeah. Whoa.
Like, doesn't that take foresight? Doesn't that take actual thought and planning?
That takes a DeLorean and Doc Brown taking you back to the future, Marty.
I swear to God, right? Because there's no way at the end of it there's I don't know, maybe we'll keep going with the series. Let's just put enough into it that if we want to continue it, we can.
Well, and Han became such a lovable character too.
Oh, the best. Yeah, he was the one of the best. Which, going into number 4, all of a sudden Vin Diesel's just friends with Han to begin with. There was no meeting. They were already working together.
Which begs the question, where was Han in 1?
That's what I'm saying. Or not 1, maybe even 2. I don't know. I guess 2. Now I feel like they need a whole new series where it's Brian was in Miami during 2, but what was Dominic doing? Dominic was meeting Gal Gadot and Han, and they're doing crime shit. The Letty storyline doesn't make any fucking sense though, because Brian sent Letty undercover to infiltrate the cartels, and then she got killed. Wink. lost her
Right.
memory. What the fuck? Like, this doesn't even add up.
We probably shouldn't have had this conversation today because now I feel like we might be ruining Fast and the Furious.
I love Fast and Furious. You
Here's
can't ruin it for me. I don't care that it's all fucked up. I'm just surprised that this never really has been thought of.
Did you watch Hobbs and Shaw yet?
Yes. Roman Reigns is in it.
Well, yeah, I knew that. Roman Reigns is in another movie that's on Netflix, which was
Are you sure it's not Jason Momoa?
no, it's Roman Reigns. He's in The Wrong Missy.
The Wrong Missy.
Yeah, it's a David Spade movie,
Oh, Jesus.
and he goes like they open this movie with him on this blind date with this chick Melissa, and it's goes fucking god awful. Fast forward to 3 months later, where he's going to get on some plane, and he bumps into this just smoke show of a woman. They hit it off. They have all this stuff in common. I think they have sex in a random bathroom. And then,
Wait, David Spade?
yeah,
I don't believe it.
but he ends up going and like inviting, but this girl's name is Melissa as well. So he invites Melissa via text message to this company retreat.
Wrong Melissa, huh?
Wrong Melissa.
Of course.
Yeah. But Roman Reigns is in the very beginning of this movie because the way he meets the first Melissa is he gets a text message from her that says, "Hey, I'm in a blue dress, brown hair. I'm sitting next to this bodybuilder dude who just won't leave me alone." So David Spade goes over to this girl, blue dress, brown hair. "Hey, thanks for keeping my friend company here. I've got us a table over here." And the dude's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And he turns around, it's fucking Roman Reigns. And I'm like, "Oh, shit, it's Roman Reigns." Here's my issue with this movie, though, because they go on this retreat to Hawaii. This is a Happy Madison production.
Of course.
I
mean, let's be honest. David Spade is not getting any other work other than from his buddy, Adam Sandler.
Yeah. They've got the guy who played Deuce Bigelow. What's his name?
Rob Schneider.
Rob Schneider. Rob Schneider is in this movie as a guy who takes these people out on a fucking boat to like look at the sharks in the ocean.
Dude, he was already that character in fucking 50
I know.
First Dates.
This was where I got really excited. Then I started fucking Googling it. It's not even the same character. I feel like they really missed an opportunity to tie this fucking universe together.
I mean, if they're all Adam Sandler movies at this point, why not? Like, in a weird way, since 2020, people are so meta. Things are so meta. Things need to be a certain way. I almost feel like now more than ever with like how the Marvel Universe exists, people can get away with amping it up a little bit.
Yeah. Just leave some breadcrumbs. I'm an Easter egg guy. I love Easter eggs.
Easter eggs make any movie fun.
Yeah. I like to put the pieces together and see how everything kind of fucking marries itself to past or future movies. So just leave me some breadcrumbs to get my brain going.
I wonder if maybe that was the thought of it.
Maybe, but they didn't fucking follow through.
No, it was so dumb. I don't know why you'd even set that up. Like, again, if we want to go back to Fast and Furious, every character has his gimmick. Every non-action scene, Vin Diesel is literally wrenching on a motor. Tyrese always talks about being hungry, whether he is or not.
I love it. Favorite line.
Han is always eating.
Oh yeah,
in every scene. Yeah, every scene. And they actually make mention of it in number 5. Gal Gadot's character's like, "Oh, I used to be a smoker. You can tell because you're always putting something in your hands and your mouth." And I was like, "Oh, interesting."
Is that a thing?
I don't think so. I feel like people always associate like smokers with like people who chew gum a lot or suck on suckers and what have you, but like I don't I don't believe that's the case.
Hmm.
It could be. I mean, I could just literally be wrong about it. I mean, I used to smoke. Sometimes I still do.
I mean,
I don't like chew gum nonstop, or like I don't crave it. Like I don't need it. So I couldn't tell you.
yeah, I mean, now I kind of want to travel down this oral fixation path with smokers, because if that's the case, like, I'm going to start looking for some more smokers if they all have an oral fixation.
Is this going down the road of like you looking for more beegers?
Sure.
Is that what this is about, beegers?
Whatever. I mean, you took it there, not me, bro.
I'm just trying to figure out what you're insinuating.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It's always about BJs.
I know. That's my sixth sense was tingling. My spidey sense, as some would say. Man, those Fast and Furious movies, man, they're so entertaining. They have like maybe the worst dialogue ever, in a fun way.
Well, that's the thing. Like, they are not winning any fucking Academy Awards, right?
No,
but they're just a fun movie.
They are a fun movie, and I think that's where the critics. Okay, to be fair, like we were talking about Rotten Tomatoes, I feel like Rotten Tomatoes gets a lot of things wrong in the sense that it's not necessarily wrong. It's that, this isn't a fucking high concept movie, bro.
Right.
Like, I'm sorry, this isn't goddamn Good Will Hunting. This is just a bunch of fucking boneheads wrenching on cars and street racing. Like, you're gonna think of some sort of synapse burning mental game in here? Jesus Christ, guys.
Since we brought up Chase James earlier,
mm-hmm.
I am very curious now what his opinion on the Fast and Furious movies are. Like, does he enjoy them? Because he races or raced cars, works on cars, right?
Yeah, I mean, he owns a Subaru tuning shop, so I think he has a pretty good grasp on the whole idea of street racing.
Yeah, so I wonder if Chase's opinion is going to be like, I hate those movies because it's all bullshit fake. Or if it's going to be like, yeah, I like those movies because, it's fun and it kind of reminds me of what I used to do.
I don't know how you hate the movies.
I don't honestly know how you do either. I haven't watched 7 or 8.
Okay, so let me just go ahead and get through this a little bit. I think other than Tokyo Drift, my second favorite's 5, because at the end of 5, they rip through Rio de Janeiro with a vault attached to 2 vehicles, which is, let's be honest, fucking impossible.
Right.
I mean, there's no way those 2 cars are powerful enough to pull whatever weight that vault is.
False. I feel like that could happen. I just don't think they're going to be able to pull it for long.
Dude, they pulled it through like a building. Like, they knocked out a corner of a building. I just don't, like, have you ever seen a car hit a median and the car keeps going and the median explodes?
No.
Because that's fucking Fast and Furious 5 in a nutshell.
Okay, fine.
So it just doesn't make any logical sense right there. These cars are not that powerful. They're not that fast. They're not that strong. I mean, they're cars. Let's be realistic here.
Yeah.
But on that note, you go to 6. 6 was 6 is where, like, I feel like if you didn't think 5 jumped the shark, 6 definitely jumped the shark. Because this is where they went from being like criminals that were being hunted by both the Brazil mafia and the U.S. Secret Service to the Secret Service reaching out to them to help them stop an international crime syndicate, international terrorism from evil doing. I mean,
well,
evil doing? Like, what? Why would you? I guess these criminals prove to be very good at being criminals. So we're like, hey, let's bring them on to stop this other criminal. I get the concept.
Well, it takes one to know one.
Yes, this is again Fast and Furious logic. Broken, confused. Fun ride though.
Very fun.
6 was unfortunate. And then the 6, Gal Gadot dies. Really heartbreaking moment.
Gina Carano's in which one? 5 or 6?
6. She turns heel, brother.
I know, yeah, she does.
So hot, though.
She's really hot.
So hot.
I was watching The Mandalorian today.
So good.
Yeah, it's a good show. It's a hard show for me to watch only because I feel like it's a bit of a thinker. Like you kind of have to pay attention a little bit.
Why do you say that about The Mandalorian?
Because there's moments where they've got aliens talking, and then you got to read the captions, and like some high level thought is going into like the first 3 episodes are okay. Well, I'm a bounty hunter, and I've got to get this bounty, and this bounty ends up being Baby Yoda, and then it's like this internal struggle with the Mandalorian on is he really doing the right thing by handing over this little baby species over to the Imperial Republic? And so you kind of like have to pay attention a little bit. And I can't always I don't have the time to always sit and pay attention to it. So I'm behind. Like I think I'm starting 5 now. But man, Gina Carano came on and I was hooked.
Yeah, she's a slayer.
Yeah.
She's her old Baberino.
She really is.
Yeah. Fun character too.
Yeah. I mean, she plays the same character in everything she ever does. A
Oh
kick-ass.
shit. Yeah, kick ass like bounty hunter type.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
It's because once she breaks into the roles of like wearing sweet dresses and being like a spy, people are gonna like lose their shit.
I want to see that now, actually.
I do too. I said it because I want to see it.
Yeah, let's throw her in an evening gown. I bet
Actually,
she
that's a good
dresses
point.
up real nice. I bet she's beautiful in an evening gown. Great. I'm just getting a weird bone over here. I mean, you probably are too. You texted me earlier and said how horny you are.
Oh, 24/7. This COVID is bullshit.
It is bullshit. You know how hard it is to find anybody on Tinder or Grindr or whatever?
I don't. I'm married.
So am I.
I'm married without that ability.
Oh, yeah. My wife's real cool about that stuff. Only dudes, though. I mean, whatever.
I don't have the option. I'm just screwed.
You should just throw it out there. Just pitch it.
I have.
And you got to know?
Yeah, hard no.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, stiff passed. I was like, okay, well.
Stiff pass.
Stiff pass.
You're eternally stiff.
I know that's the beef here, brother. I've been cursed. I've been cursed with these good looks.
You are quite handsome.
Stiff boner. Oh man. Whoo! We've gone off the rails here.
Gina Carano?
No, I don't know if we can. I think we need to take a break from that one. But as far as and going on from 6, Gina Carano takes the turn, and Gal Gadot dies, and we move on to 7. And first scene in 7 is what is it? It's Tokyo Drift.
Right, because Han dies.
Han dies. Yep.
Yeah.
But it shows to you that Jason Statham is killing him. But little do we know, he's in 9. We've had to endure Han dying twice now, just to be resurrected. Very, very uncool.
So are they going to pull like a Letty with Han?
Unsure. All I know is in Fast and Furious 9, they're bringing the cowboy kid back and Han back, and with the normal cast of Vin Diesel,
Please
the girl
bring
who plays
back that
Ramsey.
Australian chick from 3.
I didn't see her in there, but it doesn't mean she's not.
I would like to see them. They're still a couple. Because you know what? That is one thing I really enjoy about Fast and Furious. That those movies have fucking heart. Letty and Dom, true love.
True. That's true. And listen, I am a sucker for true love.
Yeah, me too. Me
I
and
swear
Brian,
to God.
true love.
True love.
Yep.
Yo, dude. Oh, I'm going to spoiler alert you something right now. Vin Diesel dates smoking hot broad who is actually married in real life to Chris Hemsworth.
Really?
Yep.
I know
The
which chick you're talking about, I think. Yeah.
She's like the Brazilian, I don't know, like she's a cop down there.
Chris Hemsworth
Yes.
has, yeah, I mean, he's a real good looking dude too.
Super.
He's got some fitness app that charges $23.99 a month. And I got to thinking about it one day, and I thought, it's kind of cool that he does this, like puts his name out there on this brand or whatever. But how much money does this man need? He's fucking Thor.
Dude, I don't want to start going to this path because I'll tell you what, I think of this stuff all the time. Like when Jeff Bezos of Amazon fame doesn't pay taxes and he's like the richest man on the planet. I'm just like, why don't, hey, raise money for COVID, or you can give him $1 billion and you wouldn't even be scratching the surface of what you have in your bank account.
True. Good point.
So how about you fuck yourself, you rich piece of shit?
Yeah. I mean, listen, you can't take anything with you when you die.
I know. That's why I'm just like, I get celebrities live certain styles of life. Like I know for a while Johnny Depp was reaching bankruptcy, but he owned like a town in Italy.
Right.
Like what the fuck is the point of that, bro? No offense to Mr. Depp. I love him very much. He's a good dude. 21 Jump Street, Jack Sparrow, Fear and Loathing.
Edward Scissorhands.
Yep, Donnie Brasco.
Yeah. Great movie.
Super good movie.
Yeah.
You know, I think to myself, what the fuck do you need this shit for, dude?
Well, there's no reason to need any of that stuff. Like Jay Leno's got all those cars, right?
He does.
You can't drive every single one of them every day. So what's the fucking point?
To be fair to Mr. Leno, I feel like it's kind of like what Funko Pops are to you, cars are to Mr. Leno.
Okay, fine, fair. All right, fair. You know what? I won't begrudge anybody having a collection of things. But when you've got just so much money sitting in a bank account that is just sitting year after year after year, accruing interest or whatever, why do you need it?
I don't know. That's my thought. Like, you know, again, like Jeff Bezos, he's so rich. He's filthy fucking rich. And I think to myself, why? CM Punk once said, if you can't live off $20 million for the rest of your life, you're a fucking idiot.
Right.
So what is it? What is the point? Like, I guess I'm not rich. Maybe that's part of the problem.
Probably. We just don't know how to live that life.
I don't know. I think it's kind of redundant. Like, there's just not a reason to have that much money.
You know what? I think actually this is probably a good spot to end this podcast. And I'm going to leave it with this question. I want anybody who's listening to this podcast to tweet us at Bash Bros Tag Team. If you had an endless amount of money, what would you do with it? I'm curious to see what people would do with that amount of money.
I can answer that right now. Or do we want to wait? Should we wait?
Yeah, let's wait.
Okay, we'll wait.
Go tweet us at Bash Bros Tag Team. You can also go buy our shirts at prowrestlingtees.com/Bash Bros. Follow us on Facebook at The Bash Bros. Instagram, Bash Bros Tag Team. Follow us all over social media. But I don't care where you post it, Twitter, Instagram, in the comments on this podcast or on our Facebook, wherever. I don't care.
Wherever.
If you had an endless amount of money, what would you do with it? Would you be like a philanthropist? Would you buy a bunch of cars like Jay Leno or a town like Johnny Depp?
Man, these are all good questions now.
Maybe I'm going to blow your fucking mind here, Chris.
I don't think you can.
Maybe they would spend that money on front row seats to fly all over the country.
You son of a bitch! That's what I was going to say! Vladimir is the richest man on the planet. That's how he had so much.
And Vladimir, if you're out there and you're listening, or somebody knows Vladimir and is listening to this,
please get him in contact with us. I literally have. This
I
man
want to be
was
your
like,
best friend.
Yes, I do. Like, I've seen it my whole life. Vladimir was in my whole life.
Yeah, you were an integral part of our childhood. So just be our best friend.
Please.
Yeah. In a very non-creepy way. I don't intend that to be creepy because it sounds creepy.
Does it?
I mean,
he's my fucking hero, man.
Yeah, but we're two grown men who just asked another grown man to be our best friend now. I'll make that.
Go and kick me in the knockers, bud.
I'll make that man an honorary Bash Bro.
I'll send him a shirt, bud.
Yeah. Vladimir, you want a shirt? Reach out to us at Bash Bros Tag Team.
Please.
Everybody else, let us know what you do with that amount of money.
please.
This has been episode 1 of What You Watching with the Bash Bros. We are going to be back next week with episode 2.
Episode deuce.
Like a poopies?
Like a poopies.
I should probably go do that.
All
right,
right,
everybody. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.